Well, hello and welcome to Material Mondays. I hope you are well and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend and you're going to go forward today striving for all the things that you desire and that you are not only blessed but you could be a blessing to others. So here's the piece so far. I have done additional work on it over the weeks. I think I missed last week's, but so what I've now done is add some bigger beading. I shared some beading. These large beads were on pieces like this and I've just cut them off basically and added them to the top, to the middle and down here at the end, and I've gone in and done some additional stitching in these sections. Would you like to come in a bit? Oops, wrong way. Okay, so I added some more stitching at the bottom here. And the stitching that I add is just straight stitching, but when you use different colours, when you put them in different directions, you get an interesting look, and it's a very detailed look. And even just looking at this, I'm thinking, oh, that looks so gorgeous. I love it. And it's the combination of colours as well. So I brought the this colour that you can see, the stitching, is a cotton that I got, and it was what kind of cotton is it? A what do they call it? Well, this is the colours mushroom, and I got this in London at the yarn store, and that was like heaven going in there. I have done a video of me in there, but I love the sheen on it. I wish I'd brought more, but in combination with the cotton that I grew and spun, this one I can't remember what, there was a label I'm sure, and it said that, you know, it's processed in a particular way. That's, you know, but when, or maybe it is that where I've spun my cotton, I haven't done enough to kind of, you know, this is done quite thickly, but it does have, yeah, it does have a sheen on it. So if it was as fine as this one, maybe it would have looked similar. But, you know, I'm fine with that. So I'm going to come out just a little bit so you can see the stitches a bit more. Yeah, so I think that this piece is finished. I like where it's at, and it feels complete. It's just a satisfied feeling as I'm going over it. And I'm just looking out my window. I'm looking at my papaya plant seems to be maybe it just needs watering. I'm just looking at it, and maybe it just needs, I just need to add some water. We haven't had much water, much rain or heavy rain as yet, so maybe that's what it needs. Anyway, it's a papaya. So yeah, you know, all the stitches, all the detailed, all the additional beads, seed beads that I've added with these. And I decided not to necessarily do any hanging beads. I was thinking of framing this, and I still haven't yet got to a framers where I can find some frames to fit this nicely. It's backed with some felt, but I want to kind of cover it up, but I didn't want to quilt it as such, but I may have to. And then I was just also thinking about maybe a border, and I was thinking, you know, I've got more of this the sari material with the beading already, and it does look really lovely. As I was saying last week, the amount of detail that goes into the sari material and the embroidery and all of that, So maybe I could do a border and do a backing anyway. So I'm thinking of maybe just doing that anyway, and I could still frame it if I want. So that might be it. So I was trying to remember the names of these particular things during last week's session, and it's bedazzler. And funnily enough, I was looking for it. I was looking for the thing that I used, and I was looking, and it was right in front of my face, and I couldn't see it. And I'm just seeing it now. Well, they call it a gem styler, and I've had it for so long. Sorry about that. That noise in the background. I've had it for so long that it, the box where it was is just a bit faded. But do you remember these? So I brought this. They were people were adding it to their clothes, and it comes with, look at what it comes with. I haven't used it in a while, but as I said, I used it for this to add these on, and I thought, yeah, I really liked that. So this is the main bit, yeah, and obviously it comes with instructions. What else have I got in here? So it gives you some patterns, designs that you can do, and yeah, some instructions and style guide. Yeah, so mostly it was like mostly denim that I saw people do it on, but you can do it on anything and add some pizzazz. Underwear? Is that underwear? Put it on that underwear. I think it would be quite uncomfortable on the when you've to have it on underwear. Anyway, so that was that, and it's got, as I said, it came with hundreds of these. They're like brads, I guess, but with gems. They're the ones with gems and in them as well. And there's different sizes, so you've got the different size containers. So that was that. It's online. It's called a bedazzler, but the box says gem styler. Gem styler punch, 300 assorted studs. Yeah, and it's something that I had bought to add to clothes, because I was just like, oh yeah, you know, I've got to have that. But I haven't. I mean, I've had it for at least 20 years. I would say at least 20 years, if not more, 25 years. But yeah, so the more projects I do that I might need these in, you know, at least I've got them. So that's that. It's but if you look online, you'll see it's called a bedazzler. Yeah, so I'm looking at maybe doing something, like this. Add in this as the backing, say, and it's already got a border, so I could stitch that on. I think that would, and I would have to, this bottom section here, just maybe put that there. Should we come out? And even looking at this now, I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure that does anything there. So, yeah, so that might be the next port of call, to attach it to something like this, and then it can sit in a frame, and just make sure that this bottom bit here. So yeah, so the next thing I think I will do, because whilst I said yes, it feels complete, now I'm sitting with it, and that's what you have to do with you know, the things that you're working on, sit with them and then just see how they feel. I don't like this. It just doesn't, there's nothing else. I wanted to use ribbon, but I guess it was just the wrong ribbon. So I might just be able to undo it, or I might just have to cover it up. And that might be the thing, because there's other things that are dependent on the stitches here. Potentially I could cut it, or I can tack it under there like that. I still think I need a bit here at the top here. Okay, it's almost like this is just the exact right size. It's just slightly bigger, but that might not necessarily be an issue once it's all been stitched. Okay. Yeah. And what I would then also do is cut off, these are beads here as well, on here. So rather than cover them up, do you know what you could do? I just had a thought. Because it's slightly bigger, I could do it like this. When you turn it on the back, you'd see that, but this bit could be turned over. I'd have to pin it to see if it would work. Maybe that. That looks nice, doesn't it? But obviously I'd have to do it in a way that or just do it the way I was going to do it. It's funny how also some fabrics, my mum used to sew, and this just reminds me of the fabrics. Not that she had loads of Indian sari materials, but there's just something about the smell of this that reminds me of mum's, like the materials that she would sew with. It's just got a homely, comforting feel. That's the that's the smell I'm getting. It's just like, it reminds me of home, basically. And she used to wear this perfume called Lily of the Valley, and it's got that kind of aroma, a Lily of the Valley kind of aroma. And it's just little things that then come to mind. Like Mum used to like, there's this chocolate bar called Milky Way, and it was like this chocolate, if you know Milky Way, then you know it, but it was this fluffy on the inside, and then you had the chocolate on the outside, and she'd always have a spare one in the fridge, because she would buy one for herself and then always have a spare one. So she would offer it to us. It'd be a nice little treat. But yes, so I'm definitely thinking of doing this now, because one of the things that I was kind of debating, as I say, was the backing, and what I'm thinking now is, if you kind of do a reasonable backing, that it can be hung or it can go in a frame. So and if somebody was to purchase this, what I would do is just make sure it's got the bits that if you want to hang it up you can, but then it can just go as is straight into a frame. So yeah, I need to just, the final bits for this week will be adding the bit down here. So I'm going to have to cut some bits. The other bit that I have from the sari is these bits. So when we look at the beading, we take this well, that's not, these are sections. There's still a lot of beading that I need to extract. This bit can go down here, so I've got the top and the bottom bit there. I just need to carefully cut it and then put it over like so. And then there's this bit. I think I showed it to you, but look at the beading on this. Let's come in. It's amazing. Come closer. Come on. Here we go. Beading on that. Some lovely colours as well. We've got gold, and then we've got these little, they're like little mini, like really tightly wound foil. And I was, you know, when you think about, gosh, I mean, the amount of time this would have taken. But whether I would like remove the beads and reuse them, or use this in a piece that, you know, maybe it gets to be used in a piece. It's even got a hanging bead there. But yeah, so that is the direction that this is going to take. And yeah, just neaten it up there. But I'm glad I've got two pieces here that I can go, one at the bottom here, yeah, I need to definitely fold this over, and then as I stitch it on. So shall we get going? I think we should try and get some of this done, even if it's just to add the top and the bottom. Yeah. This is 3-ply actually. With normal. Well, the other type of embroidery thread that you can get is there's 6 strands. Sorry, there's 3 strands to that, and these are the beading that I've taken off and still got. So I need to put these in a small bag. I was sitting on the chair in the front room adding some beading, which I don't normally do. Like, you know, I normally try and do it when I'm sitting at a table. And they all, I put it in here, and then I was picking it up, and they all fell out and fell in the creases of the chair. Anyway, so they're going to go in there so I don't lose them. I really don't need to do that now. And I tried to also, with the little fine bits of wire, what I might do is use them. They're fairly strong, so I may use them as if they are thread and stitch with it, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of effect I get. They're fairly long once you unravel them. I never thought of that before. I was trying to put a needle through it, but I wasn't having much luck. But just to kind of try and use them in the stitching, that might be something, and give you a nice effect, especially on darker material. Okay, so I'm going to get my needle. Actually, let's try that on a small piece. Yeah, I'll come in for you, but you probably won't be able to see it. It's a very, very fine wire, but yeah, you can see, like, kind of, yeah, it's very fine. And I'll have to use them as individual pieces, like it's not as if they can join together. But let's, maybe on the jeans part, I'll see how it looks. Or, I mean, if I can use it to stitch with. It's broken, but it's very fine. And if I was in a different frame of mind, like, you know, when you sometimes you're sitting there and you just like, I can tackle anything. Yes, I'll tackle a small very small bit, but they'll also come in handy for beading. So if I want to add beads, some small hanging beads maybe, or just to decorate, so that's useful. So let me put those back in there. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, so we'll move this for now. What we want to do is add this on top and at the bottom. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is detach the back, because I want this side to be this way, and I want it to be taut, so I'll need to stitch that separately. But I don't need it. I don't need to stitch in this bit. I'm just going to stitch around the edge, and then what I'm going to do is with this bit around the edge, I'm going to add it to these. So what you'll see is these at the side, like so. Just going to add them from the back. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So first things first, I need to attach the top bit and the bottom bit. What it's going to require is just small stitches. So I'm going to continue with this idea of the very tiny, like rice grain stitches, and just continue down here, incorporate this so it will all be attached, but you'll see the different stitches along here. So that's what I'm going to do. I won't be able to finish it all today. This is probably a week's worth of just being patient and stitching, but I wanted to share that with you, and next week you'll see the finished. I did think this week it was going to be finished, but next week you'll see the finished piece, because I'll be working on this during the week. I'm looking forward to working on it. It's funny, you get those pieces that you think, yeah, I really want to get into this, and I've got another piece to show you that I might start. Well, not start, but I will get on with finishing, and it is another one. Let me just move this to the side for the minute. I started previously, and I was doing some on it this week, and so as we can see, there are two figures. And this looks like a large blue moon. That's what I was feeling as I was doing it. But there's a lot of additional stitching that I want to do. And I did a little bit over time, and so I've added to their faces, but I wanted to add some detail in the background. I've added some stitches here, and there may be some more stitching that I want to do on their body, but that's going to be part. But I just thought I'll show you what I was thinking of next. I do have some other more detailed pieces, but I think once I've, when you've done a piece like this, you want to kind of, well, for me, I find doing something that is kind of really fairly straightforward. There are more stitching to be done. Haven't yet added any beading, so actually that's what I might add to the clothing. And the kind of colours we're looking at, it might be the colours that I'm finding in here, the gold, because I've got kind of like a gold metallic paint on here, so I might be adding some of the gold beading from the sari material. And I can maybe even experiment more with the wires and do some decorative stitching, maybe in this area where you can see the detail a bit better, or maybe in this area where I've done the stitches with the green. So yeah, we'll see. But so yeah, that's where this is connected then. Yeah, and I've used the this mushroom thread. I was just doing a spiral here, so I've used that mushroom thread, and I might just take it all as big as I can. And yeah, they look like it's taking flight, I think this one's called. I haven't named it yet, but that's what I thought when I saw it. Yeah, but my mind is in this, so I'm going to leave that to the side. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to get on with the stitching. As I've tacked this at the bottom and the top, so I'm going to be doing some more there, and I'm going to be cutting this out. I want to keep the wire bits here intact, so I'll maybe cut it, but I want to get these off, so I'll take these off first. Okay, so I hope to see you next time, and by then it would have been as I want it all the way around, and I am looking forward to doing some of the smaller stitches. That is a really nice activity that is just, you can just get on with it, and you don't need any special equipment. I just need to make sure that I have enough of this thread. I think I will have enough to finish this. Yeah, so you take care for now. I hope whatever you're working on, that you are having fun with it, and I look forward to sharing more of it next week, the finished piece next week. I'm putting myself under pressure here, and I thought, let me come in and you can leave with some of the delightful, I mean, obviously I didn't stitch this, it was already done, but then we've got all the ones that I've done and added to it, and I really do like the look. This is going to be amazing in a frame hanging up. It's going to be so beautiful. Okay, so that's me, and that's Material Monday. So you stay blessed, and I look forward to seeing you again.